This is called the mirror hand syndrome. A Japanese man rides his bike carrying soba noodles on his shoulder in Tokyo, 1935. Horses on a plane. Salvador Alvarenga, a 36-year-old fisherman, drifted more than 10,000 kilometers from Mexico and was found on the Marshall Islands spending 438 days lost at sea. An original 5-acre market garden dog in Western Sydney who refuses to sell to developers. The family have been offered up to $50 million, but aren't going anywhere. This is a real picture taken by photographer Kenichi Ono. It's a single photo of a bird standing at the edge of some water with a wall and its reflection creating a fascinating optical illusion. The door of Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory in California, USA. When Otzi the Iceman was first discovered September 19, 1991. He'd be 5,202 years old this year. Butterfly eggs on a leaf. Never before seen crystal-like matter hidden in a chunk of fossilized lightning is likely a brand new mineral. 20-sided die, Egypt, 200 BC. The doors of a hangar at Hickam Air Force Base were designed to perfectly accommodate the Globemaster. A manhole cover in Wiesbaden, Germany. My dad's home workstation. He's a software engineer. Richard Jewell, who saved hundreds of lives in Atlanta Olympic bombing 1996, had his entire life ruined by media accusations. FBI suspects Hero God may have planted bomb. Adult and juvenile swordfish. A Plejava carrier is a species of slug native to California and Mexico that can grow up to 1 meter in length and weigh 30 pounds. Grains of salt under electron microscope. This prosthetic leg made from titanium. My barber shop still uses their original cash register from 1904. The Xadra in Timimou, Algeria, is an ancient ruin that stands out in the middle of an ocean of dunes in the Sahara. Its history and origins have been almost completely lost over time. 4-door Aura II designed as the living room on wheels, 1969. A 75-year-old Taiwanese man and his Pokemon catching bike. 9,000-year-old stone mask from the Judean desert in Israel is the oldest in the world. Bee covered in pollen. Woman on an American Airlines plane, duct taped to the seat because she tried to open the door mid-flight. A marine biologist cradling a giant isopod like a baby. Giant isopods live at a depth of 1,600 feet, 500 meters, below the ocean's surface. A rare optic sight, the Brocken Spectre, which occurs when a person stands at a higher altitude in the mountains and sees his shadow cast on a cloud at a lower altitude. Brooklyn Supreme, weighed 3,200 pounds and was 6 feet 6 inches, 1930. The Hydnora africana seems almost extraterrestrial, but in fact it is finely adapted for pollination in its arid habitat. This plant, resident of southern Africa, only emerges from the soil to flower. A water buffalo stuck in a ditch. Before alarm clocks, knocker-uppers were hired to go to windows and either shoot small objects at windows or tap on the window with a long stick. Some types of knocker-uppers wouldn't leave until the client came to the window to acknowledge being awake, as is shown here. the Swedish warship Vasa. It sank in 1628 less than a mile into its maiden voyage and was recovered from the seafloor after 333 years almost completely intact. Workers building a mountain road in China. Wealthy Egyptians in ancient Egypt slept with neck supports instead of pillows to preserve their hairstyles and keep them looking fresh. This modified $200,000 Lamborghini Huracan features a gyro-stabilized camera rig on its hood, allowing it to keep up with the world's fastest cars for photo and video shoots. Archaeologists unearthed 2,200-year-old mosaics in an ancient Greek city named Zugma in Gaziantep province, Turkey. Taiwanese Air Force indigenous defense fighter pilots patch formers and bulk bear punching Winnie the Pooh. My dad and history at 4 and 63 years old. This gas station in Colorado was built using petrified wood and called the world's oldest gas station at around 175 million years old. Farmers arrest the sheriff who was attempting to evict a widow from her home on behalf of an insurance company. Michigan, 1952. This is exempt property from seizure. This is a widow's homestead. During World War II, the Japanese military used these giant tuber-like structures to listen for incoming planes. Marcus Alberti's The Wine Project looked at how people's behavior changed after 3 glasses of wine. Albert Einstein and Marie Curie talking near a lake, circa 1929. This ancient skeleton with the world's oldest gold, 6,500 years old, was found on the Balk Sea coast. The 12th Gyalwang Drukpa, the spiritual head of the Drukpa lineage, one of the main Buddhist schools of the Himalayas, pictured with Ghislaine Maxwell. This electric toaster from 1920. My sister won a photo contest with this picture of me back in the 80s. The cat scratched my face right as she took the picture and apparently caught the moment in slow motion. We had no idea until the photos were developed. The Burning Man Exodus. Bulk Rock City, Nevada. 10 hours long traffic jam. Nurses testing gas masks for babies at an English hospital during a gas drill during World War II, 1940. Chinese Colgate hidden in my phone case. A tree consumed a rifle that was leaning against it and never retrieved over 100 years ago. In Singapore, senior citizens can tap their ID for more time to cross the road. Photo of an early German submarine control room. UB-110. Hummingbird eggs the size of Tic Tacs. In a small town in County Cork, Ireland, a monument stands in appreciation to the American Choctaw Indian tribe. Although impoverished, shortly after being forced to walk the Trail of Tears, the tribe somehow gathered $170 to send to Ireland for famine relief in 1847. Photo of the twin reciprocating engines on board Titanic resting 2.5 miles deep under the sea. The engines stand 4 stories tall and put out a combined 30,000 horsepower. When combined with the center turbine engine rated for 16,000 horsepower, the Titanic could go greater than 20 knots. World's loneliest house built into side of a mountain in Italy, empty for 100 years. In 1835, in the county of Kent in England, James Newlove was digging a pond when he stumbled upon Margate Shell Grotto, the 104-foot-long underground passage This chamber is filled with 4.6 million shells arranged in pattern of mysterious symbols. To this day, the origin of place remains mystery. My mother-in-law's collection of uranium glass. Noonday gun. In Hong Kong, this gun is fired every day at noon, a tradition over 100 years old. The Tasmanian giant crab. Some bomber fuel tanks from the Vietnam War are repurposed into boats. They are very durable. Thabaklos. This 12,000-year-old Iranian cave village has been continuously inhabited for over 3,000 years. A young woman who survived the atomic bombing of Nagasaki, August 1945. Robert E. Lee statue removal in Richmond, Virginia. Advertisement for Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill Volume 1, 2003. 140 million year old, 500 kilogram dinosaur femur discovered in France. In December of 1977, Star Wars beat Jaws to become the highest grossing movie. Steven Spielberg took out this advertisement addressed to George Lucas in Variety magazine. Atmospheric diving suit built by the Carmagnole brothers in 1878. Hand of God, a heartwarming concept where the nurses tie 2 gloves filled with heat water to stimulate human touch and to comfort the isolated patients. Rita Ferrier, first Indian, Asian, and Arc-en woman to win Miss World 1966. She won Best Swimsuit and Evening Wear. Unlike others, she chose medicine over movies, becoming a doctor, a true trailblazer and role model. Raindrops on my windshield. A computer store untouched since 2002. An isopod from my yard infected with iridovirus, turning it blue compared to a regular one. Last night's full moon over New York City's skyline from 14 miles away. Kiraslan Picnic Basisi, a car picnic park in Turkey. Population of Shenzhen 1984. 140,000. Population of Shenzhen 2023. 13 million. 1984. 2023. Lots of birds aligning and forming a bigger one. Worthless currency litters the street in Venezuela. German company Birkenbraun manufactured their radium chocolate between 1931 and 1936, advertising it as a rejuvenating food. Yeah, you read that right, chocolate with radium. The use of radium occurred in a variety of consumer products before the hazards of radium were fully understood. Grandpa's Gullwing. Sold for $7,000 in the late 1960s, now worth well over $2 million. Who off? The color difference between American and European Fanta orange. German soldiers react to footage of concentration camps, 1945. The mysterious Loretto Chapel staircase. In Green Valley, Arizona is I-19, the only interstate using the metric system. It still uses metric units to this day. Police Aviation Force Commander, Captain Charles N. Fitzgerald, performing a stunt, New York, 1920. About 10% of Africans in the Solomon Islands have genetically naturally occurring brand hair. Eltz Castle is a medieval castle nestled in the hills above the Moselle between Koblenz and Trier, Germany. It is still owned by a branch of House of Eltz who have lived there since the 12th century. Italian plumber van. Mud skippers are fish known for their ability to climb and walk out of water to find mates and defend territory. Fin minister of second richest nation during the 80s said, "Tomorrow will take care of itself" when asked what will happen once the phosphate runs out. Today Nauru is one of the poorest nations. 80% land infertile due to mining. The most obese country depending entirely on cheap fast food imports. This church in Taiwan is designed to resemble a high heel shoe. It's supposed to appeal to women, now a tourist attraction to all kinds of people. Purely pencils on paper. An in-car coffee maker was available as an option on 1959 Volkswagens. My average beats per minute when I stop drinking alcohol. Mycena subcyanecephala, or bluebonnet, is a small and visually striking saprotrophic mushroom found in humid environments across the world. It decomposes dead organic matter on decaying wood and is primarily appreciated for its aesthetic appeal. Customers at a London music store listen to the latest record releases in speaker listening booths. 1955. Salt formation in Iran. These fossils in Tassili Najjar look like wheels. Lion's mane mushroom. This plant has leaves that look like watermelons. Vancouver hard dog prices. No impurities or cuts. 18 plus. ID required. Cook when. Crack cook when. Heroin. Methamphetamine. MDMA. A golden orb spider eating a bat in far north Queensland. Granabulo from Chile is apparently now the oldest tree in the world, estimated 5,484 years. Nope, it's not a skull, it's a fly infected by cordyceps fungus. Cordyceps fungus, it takes over the mind of insects and then controls them to move at a higher position. When it's reached, the fungus starts growing and releases its spores. So basically zombie fungus. Do not worry, it can't infect humans. The Lammergia, or bearded vulture, is a species of vulture that feeds entirely on bones. It has stomach acid 100 times stronger than that of a human and can live for up to 40 years in captivity. Nintendo's first headquarters in Q2. It was founded in 1889 as Nintendo Karuta by Fasujiro Yamauchi, a craftsman who made playing cards. 50,000 German POWs marched through Moscow, 1944. Extremely close-up gallery of ink being dropped into water. Our succulent just exploded out of nowhere. On June 17, 1994, Orenthal J. Simpson and his friend Al Cowlings led police on a 60-mile slow-speed car chase through Los Angeles and Orange counties, captivating viewers glued to television sets. 1910 Jones Live Map, one of the earliest forms of automatic in-car navigation. A paper disc like this one was placed on a turntable connected to the car's wheels and would rotate to give directions in real time as the car moved. The Moniac was an early computer that used water flow to model a nation's economy. Bill Phillips invented Moniac in 1949 as a teaching aid to visually demonstrate the effects of taxes, money printing, etc. However, Moniac was so accurate that Ford Motors and Guatemala Central Bank bought units. Aerodynamics of a cow. Photographer Michael Beater got these images of teal auroras when clouds emerged from the nearby mountains and floated across the sea. Perfect hit. Sometimes, if the prey is just injured, it will fight back if able. Seals, sea lions, smaller sharks and even a variety of seabirds can leave scars on a great white's nose. This is a World War II gun belt of an SS officer. Slap bracelet is just a piece of a tape measure. You're welcome. The honeybee hive house in Israel consists of rows of geometrically inspired structures on top of each other. It has been dubbed one of the world's strangest buildings. Swoon, a public art piece with the intention of giving the public an alternative to place love locks instead of a nearby bridge. The moment before a lightning strike on the Statue of Liberty. There is a species of jellyfish known as the Teratopsis dornii, or more commonly, the immortal jellyfish. This species has the ability to revert back to its juvenile form after reaching maturity, effectively resetting its biological clock and allowing it to live indefinitely. Adult jellyfish, egg, planula larva, polyp, strobila, ephira. Toyota Hilux modifications. The Lahore necklace, the gemstone until 1849, was part of the Lahore treasury in the Punjab region of present-day Pakistan. When the area was taken over by British colonists, the Toshakhana treasure was catalogued. Dr. John Lodgen. I modified my 35mm film camera to shoot Polaroids. The moon tonight in Pennsylvania. Upscale McDonald's with second-floor balconies and a former 7-bay garage. Polish people put strawberries on pasta.